Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
Hello and welcome to the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus Sessions podcast. Today I've got a mate on the bus with me. I'm buzzing about this one, really excited because you must think I'm the flakiest bloke ever. We've tried to do this 150 times?
Give or take.
2,000? But you're here, baby,
Yeah,
so
man.
Welcome aboard, Myles Knight!
Wagwan!
Yeah!
Finally here, baby.
That's the most energy I've gone for, and I really give it some, so
I feel privileged.
thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Are you happy to be here?
I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Have you done many podcasts before?
No, I don't think I've...
Never done a podcast?
I've never done a podcast, no. I've done, like, radio interviews before, but, like...
With the man
just,
Dean?
not with Dean, no. Just...
Who have you been on?
Just, like, local radio stations.
Okay.
There was, like, one in a Lincolnshire-based show. Just, like, over the phone, really, and they were, like, just asking you, like, random questions.
What
like,
you been up to?
Yeah, like, what are you doing in lockdown, and, like, stuff like that. But then, like, they'd be, like, random questions, like, what animal would you be? And I was like...
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
It was cool, but it was very on the spot. I didn't know what the question was going to be, so I was just saying, like, a bird, because then I could fly.
I mean, they usually prep you towards that, don't
No,
they?
they just kind of chucked it at me, and I was
Wow.
like, yeah, a bird. It was the first thing I could kind of think of, and I was like, that'd be pretty cool, but like... given the chance, I'd probably have thought...
Not to break down Dean's fourth wall, but he's quite nice towards you. He'll let you know what he's going to say and where you go first. And then you've got a bit of prep to think of, because I would hate that. Do you know when somebody just starts launching really random stuff at you?
Well, I mean...
You think you're on there for music.
Yeah, this is it. Like, I don't get me wrong, I think I handled it pretty well.
I mean, a bird's a good answer.
I think it's all... I probably could have done better.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you only needed a minute to think of other.
Yeah.
Oh, go on then. Sloth, I reckon.
Sloth.
It's just a
That'd be cool.
chill existence, but I reckon... they don't, because they go so slow, they get mould on them and so on, don't they?
Really?
I think so. I've seen a lot of nature programmes, and most of them look quite mouldy.
Mouldy sloth.
But they live a long time.
Remind me not to pick up a sloth. Yeah, but the sloths... No, is it a sloth? Yeah. Don't they, like, mistake their arms for branches and fall out of
No
trees?
way.
Yeah, I think it's a sloth.
That makes total... All I remember is one of my favourite videos of all time is this guy coming in, he's driving, and then he stops the sloths literally on the road. And do you know what the music somebody puts on?
I believe
Yeah.
Just so like,
It looks so happy. And that is exactly where the answer came from then. I was thinking, I just want to be not a sloth, but that sloth,
yeah.
in that moment.
A flying sloth.
That's what I can be. But welcome aboard, brother. I mean, if you've not been on many podcasts, you listen to many.
Again, not really. I need to start getting into podcasts. I've listened to a few of yours.
Oh, you're a stunner.
Well, you know, got to listen to the best, haven't I? And I tried licking.
Who you licked?
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah. It's a non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure on that one. No, I tried listening to a few of... I found out the other day, because I like the Ricky Gervais show.
Oh,
the animated
mate.
one. And I didn't realise... I just thought it was, like, made for the TV programme. But then, like, it came up on my Spotify, and I was like, oh, XFM, Ricky. I was like, is this new? And I was like, I'm sure I've heard this before. And then I was like, it just clicked, and I was like, oh, so they take the podcast, and then they put the animation to it. And I was like, oh. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I should have known that, really.
I mean, that's old school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably like 2012?
Yeah, oh, God. Yeah, about that time, yeah.
Wow.
It was brilliant, though. I just love Carl
So the
Wilkinson.
ones with Carl on, mainly?
Yeah.
Because they started doing that show on their own on XFM. It was Ricky and Stephen.
Yeah.
And then they just realised they had an absolute gem behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, he was the producer or something.
Yeah, and they were just sort of abusing him to start with, weren't they?
They still do.
And you can tell it's so organic and
yeah.
authentic. He's not putting that on at all, is he?
No, he's just a genuine... Well,
Mank,
yeah, Mank man.
Mank man, as authentic as a Mank man can be.
Yes.
I mean, do you really like the Idiot Abroad show series?
Yeah, I love that. I've got a tattoo of Carl.
I mean, he might. There might be a bit of elaborate sort of part of his analysis. Because do you know when he knows he's being funny, he plays on it a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But that's part of sort of what I've met from Manchester people, part of the way of being, because most of my Manc mates are so funny, and when I'm laughing and belly laughing, they play on that, they keep going, and he seems to be like that with Ricky.
Oh, definitely.
Because
he's just so straight faced. It's like,
oh man, what would be one of your favourite episodes of?
Oh, bloody hell. That's a hard question. I like the ones, is it where we went to Egypt and he was just like, saw the Great Pyramid, he was like, so what do you think of the Great Pyramid? Gone, it's alright.
Yeah, he just turns around and goes, well, yeah, I mean, that's alright, but Kentucky Fried Chicken there.
Yeah, this is it.
And it would like taint it
it's
for
got
you.
like the pyramid. Yeah, pyramid. I don't know. No, that's not pyramid. I don't know. You've got the thing in the background. He's just there like eating a bit of chicken, just like. I think it's a Pizza Hut actually.
Oh yeah, it is a Pizza Hut. That's it. Yeah. And then he goes, because it's true that he goes, there's the things they don't show in your brochure. And there's like a dirty nappy flying around. It's honest, because I've done a lot of travelling, and I've really enjoyed the places I've been. But sometimes the places where they've been propped up and glorified, and you're told when you get there you're going to have this extraordinary, powerful, beyond belief feeling. I get there and go, it was alright.
Yeah. If you go like that bit cool, but then you're like,
yeah, the surrounding area.
You've just got matey boys sat there like.
And I'm not trying to belittle the place I've been to, but it really was, when travelling, it was mainly the build up, the people you met, the cultures you go towards, the journeys you've been on. Then you get to that destination, you go, I get it, I get the premise of it, the history is cool, but I'm not breathtaking. I like how he is with it.
No, this is it. Just kind of nonchalant, just up front, like, yeah, it's all right.
Dude, that it's a great character, and if people say, "Oh, he's playing it," then sod it, keep playing it, because it makes me laugh no end.
Well, I've seen him on like stuff like it's like Good Morning Britain.
Yeah,
and stuff
I
like
watched that.
A clip of it came up the other day, and it was like, "Oh, you've been jogging?" He's like, "Yeah, I've done 5 miles in 40 minutes." And they're like, 5 miles in 40 minutes? They're like, "Yeah, why are you so shocked at that?" He's like, "That's pretty good." He's like, yeah, he's like, you sure it's 5 miles, not 5 kilometres? And he's like, yeah. Like, you put it on your app and then it comes up and it's in kilometres. I don't know, like, He goes, it's not that far off though, is it? He goes, it's a little bit far off.
Yeah. Give or take a few miles.
Yeah, literally.
Because I was going to say, he can't have, because in my absolute real fitness stage, when I was giving it some, I mean, I was turning up, did a 10k in boxing kit and wraps, because I was like, I'm the guy. But I nearly
Rocky Balboa.
Oh dude, I remember I finished the 10 kilometre, I think it was 46 minutes, and I thought I was going to die. Honestly, and I was every day running, every single day then. I thought I was really fit, so that, I think that's 6.2 miles.
I don't know.
But picturing Carl, I thought, if he's done that, you'll blow my mind right there.
Yeah, this is it. Like, if you're doing it every other day. Like.
Yeah. I mean, they used to send me to sleep though. That was what I chose to go to bed to, the Carl Pilkington show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it was always on TV late, wasn't it? I remember on E4 and that. I watch it in bed. I'm like, yeah. It's not off to just ramblings of nonsense.
It's just when Ricky goes and they're laughing.
Yeah.
He is absolutely in on everything he's saying. You can't put on a laugh like that, can you? No. They're not doing that as a joke. That's him going, yeah, I'm gonna fucking die. And it's the laugh that gets you going.
No, this is it. He's got one of them laughs too as well, hasn't he?
The episode I'm thinking of on the podcast is the one where he comes up with the movie ideas about Rebecca De Mornay, who's not even a character, a real person. He puts 2 random names together. But it's about the person that she goes out in the morning and she gets run over by a lorry, and then but his idea, and he always has really clever ideas,
like a husband's body or something.
But that is really interesting, because 5 years later we've got Black Mirror come out, and the 2 things he spoke about on that show happened in Black Mirror.
Yeah, this is it.
And there's an interview where they talk to they talk to the creator of Black Mirror, which is Charlie can't remember his name, Charlie something, incredibly wild mind and awesome person, but the interviewer goes, did you steal Carl's ideas? And it turns out I think Carl had found an idea from a really old book that he was talking about. And he said, no, that was a premise in this book. So, it was interesting hearing people's dissection of, it might not be purposefully, but you get sort of subconscious fills with ideas, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is it. You'll see somewhere. It's sort of like a inception moment. It's like, I saw the front page of that book 5 years ago, and it's like, I've got an idea. And you think it's yours, but it's not.
Have you ever done it with lyrics? Because I've done it a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm so confident. I've got this absolute new premise for a lyric. I think one was close your eyes to see things clear. I thought, the polarity of that. And then I work with Laurie Illingworth's dad, so Martin Illingworth.
Oh, yeah.
We go travelling together a bit, work in schools, do some really cool stuff. And I was like, Martin, I've got this really genius little lyric. And I said, yes, close your eyes to see things clear. He went, I told you that last week. I literally went, oh God. Yeah,
that's not bloody good lyric.
Yeah. Can I have it? To be fair to him, he's let me have a lot. He's my ghostwriter unknowingly. Have you done that with lyricism?
I don't think I've done it. Well, I might have done. Well, none that I've released, hopefully. I find it a lot more with like the music side. Like I'll be playing the guitar bit and I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. And I have it a lot of time. Like I've got a friend Danny who I tend to run most of my songs by, or like because he's dead genuine. Like give you
What's
an honest
his name?
answer. Danny Small.
Yeah, he's really good. I've heard him once at an open mic.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely he's a talent. He's got
very
got some
good
vocals on him.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like he's honest as out. Like if I say to him like, look, here's an idea or like a recording that I've done. And I'll always send it to him because he'll give me a genuine or honest answer. He'll be like, Myles, that's great, I'd change that, or you could do that better, or it's fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Has he actually said that to you before? No, that's shit, man.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
I love it. You need friends like that.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, I don't take offence to it because he's like, you asked me. And I was like, no, this is why I asked you because you don't, could do like a performance or something and like someone would be like, oh yeah, really done, like, well done, mate, that was great. And he'll come up to you and like, yeah, that was good, but and then it's like you struggled on that bit and all this. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, but I know you can do that. I just thought I'd let you know. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Because if I carried on doing it like that, it's like you're not being the best you can be. Like I've heard you at your best or the best so far.
And it sounds like he does it in a really good way.
Yeah, he's not like just like
because some people can cripple you. Do you know what I mean with it? You don't want to get on the stage after a bit because I had a friend or somebody before, but I mean one night he just got way too drunk.
Yeah,
and he just smashed into me.
Oh right,
like it's shit. You need to stop. You need to try going to university, go somewhere else to study poetry. You don't get poetry. You need to completely reconsider what you're doing. And I was like, dude, I just enjoy it.
This is it.
I just really want to be a part of a creative scene. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
And that was unnecessary.
Yeah, there's a difference between criticism and then just
being horrible.
And
I've had that before, but I understood it. We talked about it, and he was very drunk at the time.
Yeah, of course.
But that can be crippling to other people. I've got kind of a resilience about me, and I'm my own person. I wasn't before. I've had psychosis before. I've had a really bad mind about me. Very malleable to how people come across, and I was very nervous. So if you caught me at that time, poof, I don't know where it would have been.
Could have hit you a different way.
But it just caught me at that time where I was like, no, I know who I am, what I'm about, what I want to do.
This is it. So you kind of take it. Well, it sounds like it wasn't very light what you said, but like you can just kind of take it on the chin, and obviously with the drink factor in that, you kind of have a bit of an understanding. Like you're a bit drunk now, mate,
chill out. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah,
it was one of them in the morning chats. Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I'm saying. You're not that bad.
No, but if you hadn't said that,
thank you.
But like you say, if you hadn't have addressed that the next morning or whatever, then you would have think, oh, this is what you generally kind of think.
Yeah, it's a tough one to get on stage after that moment.
Well, definitely. This is it.
Even if it's just one person.
No, yeah.
But to have somebody you respect
Yeah.
come up to you after and say, dude, brill, but
Yeah.
that's the perfect way of going about it.
This is it. And he kind of he hates the fact now, because a lot of people come up to me and I'll give them an honest, like, if they say, how was this? And I was like, oh, that sounded good, but I've kind of took a leaf, because before, like, obviously with open mics and stuff, you have people come down and like, oh, how was that? And like, you say, yeah, it's a great man, cheers coming down and that. But then Danny was like, you need to stop doing that. I was like, what? He's like, if someone wants a genuine, like, because if you don't tell them, they're never going to learn. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I don't want to come across mean. He goes, you don't have to be mean. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, fucking shit. You just have to be, you know, it's like, oh, I like that. But I was like, oh, that bit, I think you could have done a bit better. Like, no, not in a disrespectful way or anything like that. Just,
I was going to ask you on that front then. So, what are some of the tips and tricks you've learnt to address an artist like that, where you've seen something on stage they could better? Say if you're working in a school and it was the first time, you don't want to cripple them.
No.
Sort of, yeah, how would you have that conversation? Because it is hard to have.
It's a weird one, like, it also depends on how much you know the... Because obviously with open mics, not so much recently, but like before it was anyone could turn up, anyone could play. So it's kind of like, if you've never met the person before, like this is the first time coming, or, you know, and they say, oh, how was that? I'll be like, oh yeah, really good, mate. Like, because you don't actually know, because some people have like I won't say like a style to, there's different different performances. So they could be doing it in a way, and then you could be like, oh, that you could improve that. It's like, oh no, that's just the way I do it. And it's like, you don't want to be standing on the toes and being like, all right, I've now insulted the way that you know, your style or
stifling
your genre,
their act.
Yeah, this is it. So it's kind of, you've got to be very careful. So I tend to, if I know the person after a few times of them coming down, and obviously they ask me for a genuine opinion, I'll just kind of go, I won't like say in your face, yeah, fucking shit. I'll just be like, oh, really like that, but these bits, or, you know, whether that be vocal or playing wise, whatever, I'll just be like, I really like that, but I think you need to maybe have a bit more practice on this part, or on this song, you know, or this, like, that song sounded great, but like you were struggling with the vocals. To me, like, you know, you were either too high or too low. I was like, it sounded great on the guitar though, so maybe if you just pop that capo up to a higher key or whatever, I was like, it would sound so much better. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and it truthfully can transform an artist, that, can't it?
Yeah,
if they're willing to take it on.
Yeah, if that, I mean, don't get me wrong, some people might just be like, oh, whatever, mate, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't talk shit. I've just, you know, I've got to say it. You know what I mean? Like,
I saw it unfold firsthand. I used to run an open mic. It's funny how that happened, because we got kicked out of a night in Belper.
All right.
It was very ridiculous night, very funny night. Whatever happened, but some poets came on that the owner didn't agree with, so he just turned off the PA halfway through and was just like, get out. Anyway, I grabbed the mic and like, we're going to Ripley, because there was an open mic literally at the pub down the bottom.
Oh, the
Ollie Bush. Yeah, shout.
Yeah,
and after, I ended up one night when it was a dead night for them on a Sunday, we had maybe 50 people just piling in.
Hey, brilliant.
And after that, they decided they wanted me to put on a few open nights there, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And I love doing it.
It's brilliant.
But I saw it happen where there was an artist I was good friends with, still speak to now, just don't see as much anymore.
Yeah.
But he would be one of them artists, and we all know them, where they're good.
Yeah.
And then they get to a note where you know they're not going to get it, and you know, because he's doing covers, so it's coming up and you're like, uh-oh,
he's going to do it,
and then he hits it, and it is that, oh, no.
The screw, you're like, oh.
And I saw somebody who I really respect, just went and had the really honest, open conversation. I was just having my beer, sort of trying to listen in, and I was really enjoying it. I was enjoying exactly what he was saying, because I didn't know how to address it, so I wanted to for a while. And I thought, oh, listen to how you go about it.
Yeah.
And the guy was so fair, so honest, so real. Yeah. And just went, man, if you sang an octave down and you went to this range and stuck within that, you'd be really an artist to follow, an artist to listen. I'm just going to give you that up front. A month later, I put on the night, saw that same artist definitely transformed him.
Did
He
it?
was so good.
This is
I
it.
really
All it
mean it. And
takes is one word.
he picked songs that actually fit to what suited him.
This is it. Like a lot of the times, some people like. I mean, you can transform. It's a cover end of the day, so it's covering a song in your own style. But yeah, it's definitely finding the right keys of stuff. I mean, I've had it before. Too many times I've done this before. Like, do you know when you practice at home in your bedroom or whatever?
Yeah.
And you'll be like singing it, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that sounds good. A classic example last night. The Animal song, House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
It's a very hard song to sing.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I was talking to Danny about it, and I was like, I can sing that in the original key now. It's bloody high.
Very.
And I was practicing at home.
Does it start very low?
Yeah,
No,
it's like,
yeah,
but then it goes woo, all the way up to the top. And I was like, yeah, I can do it. He's like, no, you can't. I was like, I can. He's like, no, you can't. I was like, right, then I'll do it tonight then. He's like, all right then. So I did it, started off well, and then I did some of the shouty bits, and I was like, that was going well. And then obviously, as it does if you're pushing it too high.
Yeah.
Like,
Did it fully break?
not like a proper. It was. I'm going to call it a controlled crackle.
Mate, it happens to the best.
Oh gosh, I mean, it was funny though, because as soon as I did it and I felt it go and I heard it go, and then you just heard it go. I was just thinking, oh no, and I was like, I just bigged it up, and then like I finished the song, and then I saw him walking over with his beer, and I was like,
yeah, got your guitar ready to whack him with.
I was like, go on then, and he's like, you did well, but take it off to set down. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. But the classic example of you think you do it at home, and you think you do it at home, and then you get up on the stage, and then it's like, oh, actually, I'm doing this completely different to what I was at home. So it's like, all right, I need to give it a bit more in practice at home, like.
But it's that fearlessness that you've got. You're willing to go and try it out.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
you laugh it off.
Exactly,
like,
you've got that about you.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people won't go and try it. They think, oh, I've done it at home, but that's probably where it belongs. I don't dare, in case that happens.
No, this is it. Like, I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself. Is the
I think it's a big key to be an artist of any degree, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to have a level of willingness to fuck up on a stage, really.
I do it a lot.
Yeah.
I do it a lot.
I think I've seen you before, but the way you play with it actually is so endearing. You win fans around by that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you can't have a laugh about it, like, again, it's predominantly like the voice crackles and stuff. It's funny, like. You'll do it, and then I'll just be like, "Oh God!" Like mid-song, I'll just be laughing, and I'll just be like,
Dude, the best one
that was shit, wasn't it?
all time, Gregory Porter.
Yes.
I mean, you don't get much more of a vocalist than that man, do you?
He's got a brilliant voice.
Just type on Gregory Porter Sting's. It's not. I was going to say reunion, but it's a Sting gig, and he's singing a Sting song to Sting in the crowd.
Oh
so
right, yeah.
It's a big night to put on for Sting because all of his accolades,
I think I've seen some
wonderful things that he's done, but. Mate, I can't imagine it because he gets to this one note and it's a long note and he's holding it and then it just absolutely goes gone and I watched that on repeat with my dad just to get our kick sometimes. We're like, should we watch that Gregory Porter moment?
I think from the set, it was like a tribute to him, wasn't there?
Yes,
There was a video that got shared about, and it was like, I can't remember the artist, it was like some Spanish or Latino artist, and it was like Every Breath You Take, something was playing in like a proper kind of flamenco-y Spanish style. Yeah. And it was just funny because it was like, it was zoomed in on Sting and he's just there like that, and it's like, when someone gives you a song but they're absolutely butchering it.
I think it was a famous artist as well, wasn't it? Yeah, it was definitely a famous artist because Gregory, like Sting was watching in awe and just going, oh, even when he made that crazy cackle, it's funny that everyone butchered his song in some way on that night, like, this special night dedicated to
Is this a tribute or a roast?
But even after that, you can't knock how incredible he turned it round and he just kept singing, and it was nothing. But I remember that one. I can't remember who that artist is, but yeah, that was funny because he murdered it, didn't he?
It was just like,
it was literally a karaoke song.
Yeah.
And such a powerful one. Do you, like, in musical influences and terms, is it them more old school artists that you look towards? Because you spoke to me before about really enjoying lyricisms where your heart's at.
Yeah.
I'm not to say the lyricism of nowadays has turned absolute tripe and shit.
No.
But I've definitely navigate towards the older days when I'm looking at, do you know the app Genius? And you're looking through for lyrics.
Yeah, and it tells you the meaning behind the line.
Yeah, I love. I abuse the app.
Yeah.
I get real kicks just searching up songs that I wouldn't have thought about listening to the lyrics of, and then just seeing the deeper meanings.
Yeah, the metaphors and stuff that lie behind songs, like
how it's been interpreted.
Yeah, I love how like you can have a song and then like you can listen to it, listen through to it, and you'll think, oh, like this is just a classic, like a heartbreak song, or someone split up with someone or whatever. But then if you actually like listen to the lyrics that are being said, and it could just mean a completely different meaning.
Subjective.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a message. Like I like the whole thing of like a message within a message kind of thing. So it's like you can say one thing, and someone I quite like doing it when I write. It's kind of like, all right, this is whatever the lyric is. Let's say, for instance, I've got a song called "Summer Cold." It's like sailing on a dead sea in a broken boat. Sailing on a dead sea in a broken boat. Muddy water surrounds me, yet I'm able to float. So it's kind of like, right, what's the meaning behind that? And I've had a few people like say, "Oh, what's that all to deal with?" And it's like, "Oh, well, it could be. There's numerous different things behind it." And it's like, for me, it was kind of like a mental thing of like, I've got all of this like, I'm surrounded by people, I'm in like a nice collective of people, but then you could also feel alone, feel like you're sinking almost. But then it could be like a different meaning.
Quite literal meaning. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I like delving into different aspects of that where some people will be like, oh, is that what this means? Like, it could be.
Yeah, I like the could be.
Yeah, like this is it. Like I like people who can kind of get their own meaning from. But I respect songwriters who do stuff like that. Like a friend of mine, Ben Smith.
Yeah.
He's really good for that. Like his song, like he's got some amazing
quadruple
songs.
entendres.
Yeah. I can't even pronounce that.
Yeah, I had to really picture it in my head before I said it. An entendre.
But he's really good at that. I admire his songwriting just because lyrically he's brilliant with it.
Yeah, he is.
And he kind of turned me on to like the bands that he listens to. An artist in particular, Will Varley. Not a massively famous.
I get a lot of people mentioning him on here.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Genuinely,
honestly. But like
my mate Zach, who I do a different podcast with, always, because it's called Words and Wisdom.
Oh yeah.
But he listens to him day and night, and every podcast summarises it with a Will Varley lyric somehow.
But no, he's a brilliant artist. Like, I don't know if you've listened to him, but
I have.
Listened to a few of his tracks, and like all of his albums that he's written are like just incredible. He's got like, obviously he's quite sometimes political in like the songs that he does, but then like there's a song, Blood and Bone, off. I can't remember what album, but a song called Blood and Bone, and it's sort of like it's like a medieval kind of bard vibe, like storytelling thing, but it's like I don't know, it's like the lyrics behind it is like it feels like it's fit into like the 1800s or whatever. I don't think that was medieval times.
I reckon 18.
I got an E in history, mate, so I don't
might have been 16.
back in there, but like but it's like brilliant. It's like got that whole theme of the song, and then like the lyrics are kind of like fitting to the time of what you would think it is, but then it's also got like modern aspects to it.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
You've got to be a special artist to combine that together.
This is it. It's like men are made of blood and bone, like metal's bound to rust, men are bound to die alone. Oh no, men are made of blood and bone, like metal made of dust, men are bound to die alone, like metal's bound to rust. I just thought that's a brilliant lyric. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it touches on so many different topics. Do you know what I mean?
Again, when I got into writing, which was pretty late on, like my 21, 22, for my reason, I didn't respect it for what it was, in truth. So I got into it and then just wanted to say it as it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, I hated having to work stuff out, I suppose.
Yeah.
Artist I like was like the Streets, Eminem, and I know Eminem's quite metaphorical with some of his rhyming.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, these artists let me know how it was and where it was. And again, I was listening to things like Russell Brand at the time, and I really enjoyed that. This is what's happening. This is how to think. This is what to think. Which was good for me, because then I started writing in a very simplistic fashion. I was thinking, I want to reach my nan. I want to reach my dad. People that wouldn't bother looking at a poem before or anything like that, because I hated poetry so much at school. You know, what does the artist mean? I don't give a fuck, no artist. What does he mean? And I wouldn't dissect, I wouldn't go in depth, I wouldn't look at metaphors. I hated it. It was like, it means this, that's it, Bob's your uncle. And that's how my first few years of writing poetry was, because I like that storytelling, to the point, I know where I'm at. But then the more I got into creativity and writing, and I got even a bit bored of my own writing, so I'm looking at different styles and different artists, and William Wordsworth, I went to his house one time, and going actually into the depths of it, seeing an artist back in the day and hearing about his story, and he was actually a bit of a crazy guy, player, heroin addict. Thought, I'll look at some of his poems. And it transformed the way I looked at them. It's like he had such a wild, crazy, cool mind, and this is where they've all sort of transcended from. So then it completely altered my look, and I accepted all of it then. Do you know what I mean? I was thirsty for all the words, because I wanted to have that bit of play where you can work it out for yourself and find your own meaning within it.
This is it. I think that's the key thing to any kind of song.
I was so stuck in my way. So stuck. But yeah, it makes it a beautiful exploration then. Yeah,
this is it. I mean, I kind of got into that whole side of the lyrical thing, because I was always in bands, and like, obviously I think writing music for a band or lyrics for a band, should I say, is you can be a bit more straightforward. You know what I mean? Simplistic in what you're saying, like whether it be about a night out, a bird, or whatever you're talking about. It wasn't until I started doing acoustic stuff where it was like, well, I can still play these songs, but it's like, I'm not an amazing guitarist. I'm not going to be doing any, like, you know, Tommy Emmanuel weird, you know, amazing stuff. So I was like, right, I really need to, like, look more into what I'm saying, and I don't know, try and capture people with the lyrics, because I know for a fact that my guitar playing isn't going to catch any eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I see so many people who are brilliant. So I was just kind of delved into that when I became an acoustic artist, because I just couldn't deal with the hassle of bands, really. Organising 4 lads to get to a gig, so got work that night, book it off. You know
Does this band mean nothing to you?
This is it. Come on, dude. You need the commitment.
This is for the band.
This is it. But yeah, it was so when I did acoustic stuff, it was kind of like
open your mind to
my mind to a lot of different things. I'm grateful for it in a way, because it means that the songs that I've written now, I think they're okay, but like, I probably wouldn't have got to that stage of
progression.
This is it. Like, I've got a song, Playground Monkey, which people tend to like, and it's like the chorus, I thought it was I think I was 16 or 17 when I wrote it, and it was like, you're a playground monkey, you're a crackhead junkie, you've got a 20 deck of cigarettes and a mouthful of regrets, but do you want to go home? And I looked back and I thought, what was I doing at the age of 16 that I was like talking about crackheads and junkies, and I probably only just started smoking at that age. So like, where am I getting on? It's like, oh yeah, I'm fucking edgy, I am.
It's quite a good line though.
I thought it was a good line, and then like I think it was from there when the whole acoustics sort of side of things came. It was like, I always kind of refer back to that song, because I like that lyrically, and I was like, oh, that's, in my mind, I can't ever top that song for me. I just like, so I'm now trying to strive to better it, but like, I'll play a different song and everyone's like, oh, it's good, but it's no big.
Well, when you've wrote that song, and in such a way, and you feel, oh, that's my archetypal best song, does that make you have to go in a new direction then, like I did? It was all very, I've got a collection out now, which is kind of, we could say simplistic, not too much metaphor, not too much searching, but it gets better as it goes on. There's 50 in there. I'm really proud of them. They were a part of my life, but now the writing I do to music is very, very different.
Yeah.
Do you feel you've had to take that step after you wrote your world's best song?
I think, yeah, sort of. I've changed a lot really with because obviously I do acoustic stuff, but I do have a band as well. And it's nice to have that kind of variation because, I mean, I really love writing just strictly acoustic tracks, you know. I'm quite into like my whole chilled out, like saddy.
Yeah.
I'm a sad songwriter. Like,
cool.
I just like that kind of, it's the music that I listen to. I mean, I listen to all sorts, but predominantly I like putting headphones in, walking to the bus, or just walk around, and you know, you've got some chilled out sad songs, or you know, just nice acoustic.
Mate, I'm with you. I'm down.
It's brilliant, but like, and that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. But then I like having on the opposite hand where I've got this band that we can just mix up genres, like because all of us are very from a different musical background. So like the drummer used to be a pop punk. Can't say that. Pop punk drummer.
It's hard. Yeah. The pop pumper drummer.
Anyway, so he was a drummer, a pop punk drummer. The guitarist Ryan, he's like very much into like his kind of metal, heavier, like rock, which is like you'd assume with his playing that he's very heavy, distorted.
Yeah.
But he's such a like, you know, an intricate player, and he just comes up with some beautiful riffs. And then Alex has come from like again, he's probably more on the heavier side of the metal thing, which is weird because I don't really listen to any of that stuff.
Right,
so
okay.
Like, where have you got these lads from?
How is this working, guys?
I mean, it does work because it's like we just come in with so many different ideas, but with the band stuff, it's kind of it's all very experimental because like we have like we even say as ourselves, like people say, oh, what genre are you? And if I was talking about me solo, I'd be like, oh, acoustic, kind of folky, sad boy rhythms. But then we're like with the band, it's kind of like we even say ourselves, it's like none of the songs sound similar. Do you know, like you can have like an album and you get the vibe or like the genre of this album, like. You could say like like Oasis or something like that. It's like that's a Britpop album. You know what I mean? Like every song has got the same similar, not sound because they don't all sound the same, but you get it's in that. But like some of the stuff that we've done, like for instance, like Black and Blue, the first one we released, and then like Drop of the Hat, which was they're similar vibes. But then Reggae Fun Time, it's just a completely
so playful.
It's so different because it was like two songs mashed together, but it's like. Well, it's not really reggae. It's just got a reggae kind of feel to the rhythm on the guitar. But like, that's such to me anyway. I think it's so far apart from the other two, and then it's got that bit, and then the end section, which then just becomes like I don't know, like it's not really operatic, but it feels like it opens up to like a bigger swell of weirdness.
That's what we want.
Yeah, this is it. And
swell of
like
weirdness.
A massive swell of weirdness. And I just think it's nice that I can obviously toy between the two of like I love doing my acoustic stuff. I love writing up that way, but then I can always if I have an idea I can take it to these lads and we'll just transform it into something that we didn't even think we could probably
ever possible.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But like it always turns out good. I feel.
It was like, for me, my favourite band in the world, Fat Freddy's Drop. Have you heard of them?
No.
Yeah, I really love them, man. They're, I've tried to stop telling people what they'd love. I just suggest them. You'll love this. But again, it's kind of reggae, but smooth, lo-fi, electronic. Oh man. And it's all a huge build-up. Most of the songs, my favourite one, Ernie, is 8 minutes long.
Oh, really?
Really again, exploring, going down a journey, going on a path, adventure, and then the drop. It's all about the drop, Fat Freddy's Drop. And when it comes in, because they've built you up so much, your energy's up, and you're just like, and it's funky and it's fun and it's playful. I really love it, but I couldn't work out what they were. I discovered it again on a rabbit hole down YouTube. Found them, listened to a whole album in one night, straight up. one of the greatest nights on my own. Just this is what I want to do. This is
brilliant when you find an artist just through YouTube or something, or like especially like I've had it with like busking videos. There's a guy called Havetta. It's like Hvetter.
Sorry, Havetta. If you ever watch this,
I can't pronounce it. There's not a video of him talking, so it's like he's not a singer. He's just an instrumentalist.
Oh wow, okay.
But he does a lot of stuff with loop pedals, and it's again very like nice reverby delays going off, and it's just. I went down this YouTube rabbit hole and found that, and I like listened to this. He was just out on the streets, I think Spain maybe, somewhere that he's from, and he just literally sat on a bench with a street cue with like a little Rode pop-up mic thing just put in front of the street cue, just recording it live. And I'm like, bloody hell, like, he's not missing a beat, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I need to check
I found him now.
Yeah,
he's
and this
mine.
is it. And then I just went on an absolute trail for all of his videos.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is amazing. And then I'm just like, what pedals has he got? I want to sound like that. And I'm like, I want his guitar, like, this is it. And I just got proper stuck into that kind of loop of...
Well, that was me with Fat Freddy. So straight away after that, I went on to Google to type in like what genre they are, because I couldn't work it out. And then I typed it in, and it must have been maybe 18 different genres come up. Do you know, in that sort of Google search bit, and then they put all the different genres, and it was like and I really like that about them, because I think there's 9 members, and they've got sax and trumpets and drum, everything.
When you've got that many elements, though, it's hard to class it down to one genre.
And I was going to say, it was such a blessing for that first album, because there were I could listen to it every day for the rest of my life and find a different element that I'm really into. But the one other thing that I did struggle with, because they were so flexible or elusive in what they were, the next album that drops, it was so different, and I couldn't get behind it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It was completely transformed. It wasn't the based on a true story album that I'd fallen for. I went, and it was this really electronic, experimental noises. And again, it was very much about the journey, but I just didn't enjoy the journey. So that what I was listening to then, it can be such a blessing having a widespread genre mix. But sometimes when you pick up a fan through one thing that you do really well in that sort of elusiveness, if you go too far into the other realm,
you start losing.
You can lose them, because what happened was, me and my partner went to their gig, which I really did enjoy, but they gained me through that first album, and they're a New Zealand band, and they just came to Nottingham, and they did all this new stuff that I'd never heard, and I was a bit gutted, mate, because you know when you're looking for the classics.
You listen to the album and you think, oh, can you not just come and tour that one album?
Get me that album on, but then they'd be trapped in that, wouldn't they? So I suppose they've got to be honest with their movement, what they're doing.
This is it, but... I get what you mean. It's sort of like Arctic Monkeys. Everyone says how it's like it started from that to Tranquility Base or whatever it is now, and it's... I mean, I don't like that album. Some people say, "Oh, grow on you." No, it's not growing on.
No,
I don't like it. But I mean, again, you can't fault an artist for wanting to develop or try new things. You know what I mean? Because like you say, you don't want to be stuck in the rut, and then you'll be known. You don't want to be known as that person who does the same.
Well, I really felt that for my poetry, because you know I had a small audience at the start, and what happened for me was putting poems on every Tuesday. This is about 5 years ago. And they'd be going on Facebook. So first I've got 100 people, and 4, and then it got its way up, because I've hit an algorithm, I think, and it was when Facebook was Facebook. So it started, it was popping. And it got into to the thousands and thousands. It was like, I think and it was just me sat in front of my iPad, and I probably had 500, 600 comments, 30,000 views, so a few likes, and probably my ego's running. But because of that journey, and I was writing the rhyme scheme's simple. It's Saturday night, and they're out in the town. They got to the pub and they knocked a few down. There was banter there, the night seemed fun, and you know it's going. And I built myself from that I was terrified of going into inner rhyming and breaking away from that, because I wanted to keep speaking to my nan, to my dad, to them people that had connected with it. So it's a balancing act, isn't it, as an artist, to try and find that leverage to go.
This is it. Like, I think you need to have a bit of variation. But very much like I want to do now an acoustic album, because I've all my stuff that I've released has been with the band, which is great, because like, I mean, I like the acoustic stuff, but I mean, I prefer everything with the band, like playing and recording and just the song process is so much more fun, because obviously you're surrounded by your mates.
I'm very envious of all this.
I get it as a solo artist. I mean, this is it why I got a band, because I was like, I loved the acoustic stuff, but it came to a point with like the gigging, and it's like, I want to move. I want people to move as well. And like, granted, like I do play some slow songs, but I have got some upbeat ones. But do you know, if you're going from the slow song to the upbeat one, no one's going to be like, all right, I'm going to get up and start dancing and then you drop back down to a slow one. It's like, I suppose it's finding the dynamic in your set to where to put those things. But I was just like, I'm getting bored of this now, so I want a band behind me, and I want to get weird. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel that in your nature. I respect it. Yeah. Going to your solo stuff a bit. When you said about being into the sad boy stuff, or you know, you're an emotional writer. You like to showcase your emotion on stage.
Yeah.
What is that part of you? Why do you go down that line? Why is that the sort of stuff that you navigate to listening to?
I don't know.
Are you a sensitive soul? Have you had a little bit of mental health in the past that has sort of used writing as a cathartic tool? It's healed you, so that seems to be what you go down.
I feel like I use it as I don't really talk. A lot of people say you should talk to people about your problems and stuff, and I've always kind of had in my mind, well, they're not your problems to deal with. So I feel like the only way that I use songwriting as a way to, if I've got something on my mind or something's got me down, you know, I'll use that as to write a song. But I don't use it just to write a song. I kind of use it as a way to say it. You know what I mean? A lot of people are going to watch this and be like, oh, do you? And I'm like, you know now.
Well, that's what you're getting.
This is it.
I'm naked now. Mate, you're going to get the first telling off on this podcast ever. You're tapping your foot.
Sorry.
And it keeps just shaking that a little bit. It's fine. I only noticed it a minute because this lens kept doing that, and I was like, right, first ever telling off on the podcast ever. Come here, let me smack your bum.
Sorry, I'm a fidgety person. Like, literally, sometimes I know my legs just going like.
Well, it's because you're musical, so I think even in conversation, there's a rhythm to a conversation, isn't there?
Yeah.
So as you're talking, I can feel it. You're doing it to rhythm, and I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm sort of like, this is it, yeah. And now I'm going to start freestyling into it.
I'm going to start looking at my legs now. Like, am I doing it? I don't know. Oh dear.
Probably made you dead conscious.
I am now.
Right, conversation's done.
Right.
But in that, do you feel you are quite an overthinker, or somebody who spends a lot of time in mind?
Yes, I'd say so. I kind of worry. I had the whole thing of, I cared about what people thought of me. Like, and I've probably delved into that too much in the past. Now, not so much. But yeah, I did have like a period of, what did these people think of me? I try and be nice. I try and be nice to everyone anyway, but like, it was very much, you could have like a conversation with someone, and if you have like a cold response, or I don't know, not like they're not engaging in it, but it's kind of like I've made the effort to say hello, or, you know, do with it, and then I've kind of just been like, what's been said? Like, has someone said, like, why have I done something wrong? And I'm not the person to go over and be like, have you got a problem with it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not in like a, you got a problem kind of way, but like,
is there something going on here that I need to sort of rectify? Or?
Yeah, because if there isn't, then I feel that I've then made that an issue, and then I'm like, do you know what I mean? This is me just kind of thinking about, so it's like I've kind of delved into overthinking about things way too much, and more recently, in like the past probably year or two, I've kind of steered away from that I've kind of just thought, right, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm happy with what I'm doing, or I don't think I'm coming across as being a knob.
Yeah.
If I ever have, I apologise. I'm a
Sincerely
lovely
on this
person,
podcast.
really. But like, I bet I've done it as well. This is the thing. It's kind of took me to realise where it's like, I bet I've done it as well, where someone's come up to me, talked to me, and not because I'm being arsey or anything. I've been a bit cold, or because I've just been doing something, or I've been thinking about something. So I've not engaged in that conversation as much as I should or would have liked to. And it kind of took me to realise that, because I've had someone come to me before. I was like, "Oh, we've got an issue."
Wow.
It's like, why? No, why? It's like, oh, I don't know, you just seem a bit... I'm like, oh no, like, usually it's when I'm either at an open mic, so obviously I'm running stuff, so I'm having to run about, and I always feel dead rude, because if someone's playing, one, I like to watch people when they're playing, and I hate it when people like try and start I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I get it, but...
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch, and I'm the host, and it looks bad on me if I'm to just back to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
it's hard as the host, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. And it's like, but I genuinely want to listen to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is why I like it. I like seeing new people's music, and
and
finding
you can
people.
actually listen to them lyrics that you were talking about earlier.
This
Then
is it.
you can dissect.
I can probably learn something from
Yeah,
this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I feel like I've had it before where I don't mean it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like I've just got either something on my mind, or I'm doing something, or whatever, and I feel like sometimes that might have painted a picture of me to a person.
Yeah.
So it took for me to realise that I was like, no, not everyone. Well, one, not everyone has to like you.
Yeah.
And two, you don't have to make everyone like you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you can get stuck in that.
It's very much, if you know you're a good person at heart, you're compassionate, you're kind, you're living in a good moral compass, then if they don't like you, that's on them. That's fully on them.
Yeah, and I just kind of overthought that far too much. Like, I've had issues in the past.
Would that sort of cripple you in terms of getting on stages or going up to people and meeting people for a while?
Not on the stage, but more with like meeting people or going up to people. Like when I first started the scene, obviously the first thing you do is hit up all the open mics and stuff like that. And obviously because I didn't know anyone on the scene at all. I had a band in school, and then none of them, we weren't a band anymore, but none of them went on to... I never saw any of them at open mics or around on the scene, so I was like, oh, well,
you had your emotional 10-minute breakup. Then that was it.
This is it. And it was like, well, I mean, obviously stuff like university, so people went across to... So I don't know, they might have carried on with music in other aspects, but I never came across them, so it was kind of... I left school, I went to college, started a brand new college, didn't know anyone, because I was like, I needed a break from school. I didn't like school. School was tough.
Same.
So then I started college and I met all these wonderful new people, but again, none of them, they were very more the heavy metal kind of side of things, side of music, so none of them were going to come down to an open mic, at like Jam Cafe or something like that, playing like a 7-string Ibanez. So it was kind of like I went out to these open mics and I was very nervous, like, because I mean I did it when I went to college. I didn't know anyone. I've made friends, but do you know when you're in that scenario where it's like this is an open mic, these are other performers in this city, and you kind of think to yourself, oh, like if I do this and it's bad, which it probably was at my first open mic, don't get me wrong, it's like, right, that impression's going to last with them, and like the host or the people that are regulars there watching. So I was very much. I used to go with my granddad. Granddad loves live music.
Oh, awesome.
So I used to go to open mics with my granddad because he was very much into, well, because I was into music. He never really liked, from what my uncles have told me, he never really was into music. But since when I started doing music, you kind of got a passion for it.
Hang on a minute, I'm kind of into this thing now.
This is it.
Just so happens my grandson's really into it.
This is it.
That's beautiful.
I think it was from me playing, because like my mum I've got younger siblings, so my mum would obviously look after my siblings, and my dad works the odd few night shifts. So it was kind of like if I needed a lift into town or whatever, he'd come down with me, and from that I feel like he got into it. Now he loves it.
That's awesome.
Loves it. But I'd go down with my granddad to these open mics because I was like, I'm not going by myself. Don't know anyone. Do you know what I mean? Oh, fuck that. Do you know what I mean? And then if it's bad, I can just like, right, let's go in the car. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Were your first ones bad? Like, would you say?
Probably. I can't remember them all. After so many.
You have really. I got into the Nottingham scene for a while. Went to the Maze. Unknown Era people, Motormouth people, they were my tribe. I'd be going there all the time.
Yeah.
But then it was pretty much a Tom Grant gig where I met you at. And I remember it because I'd not slept for 2 days. I can't remember what I'd been doing. There was something wild about, I had to go... I think I've been a bit travelling with Chrissy. Then I went and did a music video, and it was such a crazy music video. It's a grime video.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah. So I turned up to this rough and ready place.
6 Barrels? Was it 6 Barrels?
The 6 Barrels I met you at,
yeah. That was it, wasn't it?
So I'd done that grime video, finished off, all these guys in mass with pit bulls and baseball bats, and then I come and finish off at a Tom Grant gig, and I'm just like, probably what you were talking about earlier, not giving out the right essence of you, because really I want to go up to people, how you doing? Yeah, great to meet you. And there I was just on my last wind, thinking I don't think I can do this anymore. Got through it all, but I remember that was a struggle. But meeting your tribe and you people, I just thought these are beautiful people to be around.
You've got a wonderful community.
But you had been caning the open mic scene from what I understood. Like, all of you had been on it for a hot minute. Yeah,
it's we'd all been doing the open... Well, funnily enough, the open mic thing started for me. Pepper Rocks, a friend of mine used to run it. And I'd used to go down, because I did audio engineering at college. Didn't really learn much, but...
And you don't even know what's happening with my audio when it's messing up.
Again, I've learned now.
I was so excited. Oh, mate, I've got an actual audio technician in here now. What's the clicking, mate? No.
It's a metronome, I think.
For God's sake, yeah. Left that on for the old time. That's why you're stomping your foot.
Isn't it? It's like free fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, she took over this open mic, and... she messaged me because I knew her from my drummer, because I think they worked at the same bar or something. This was years ago, 4 years ago actually. And she was like, do you know how to work a PA? I was like, yeah, why? She goes, can you come down and show me how to work it? And I was like, yeah, right then. So I got there, and she's got like XLRs and jacks and all sorts. I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, probably don't stick that in there.
No, I was like, that's a headphone output. That's why you can't hear anything.
That's very much me.
Yeah.
I got my mate over when I wanted to do podcasts. I was like, just tell me where to stick it, and that's it. I don't need to know any other nonsense. I just need to know where it goes.
It's like,
that's what she said.
First one of today. Yeah. This reminds me of The Office, that.
We're a whole hour in and we've not said a yo mama joke or anything. We've done really well, me and you, because I know we're like little childish schoolboys. So well done us. First hour in.
First hour in. Yeah. Now it's time for the weird hour.
Wait for hour 6.
Oh God.
Yo mama.
Yo mama. That's a good Far Side song, actually.
What's that?
Is it Far Side? Your mama.
Old school.
Old school.
Yeah, I used to watch that.
Yeah.
Mate, that was MTV now? No?
I think so.
I remember you used to watch it. It was ridiculous, that show.
No, I'm on about the track by Far Side.
Oh.
Your mum is so fat. How fat is she?
Well, mine was an MTV show, literally dedicated to doing Yo Mama jokes.
I think I've seen them. Yeah,
and I thought it was called Far Side, but maybe not.
No, I think that's
it was just literally Yo Mama.
Group. Yeah, they've got a song called Yo Mama. It's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
Your mama's got an afro with a chin strap. But yeah, listen to that track. It's brilliant.
With the open mic scene, if you were new to it and you were going to give somebody some etiquettes to go forward with, what would you say? Because you're a host, and it must get on your tits the way people act in open mic scenarios.
Yes, very much.
Go on, just tell people how to behave.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, I really mean this. The whole premise and reason behind these buses was literally because of that. Because of open mics and poor open mic running.
Yeah.
And I remember getting home depressed as out one night, and it wasn't just for me, but it was for everybody else involved. And especially spoken word over talking is just nonsense. No. That is the worst night ever. And luckily for me, when I was going to lots of music nights, because I was probably one of the only poets on for the night, most people would be pretty interested in what's going off. Yeah, is that guy having a mental breakdown? Is he just ranting at us? He's talking very fast.
Give him a mic.
So yeah, they would literally stop, and it was really humbling and quite, I've made a moment happen.
Yeah.
But then the more people maybe knew of me or had seen it and been there before and maybe seen the poem, they felt the confidence to go, I know who he is now, I know what this is.
Yeah, I don't need to listen.
The chatting started happening, and I just used to go home so demoralised and knackered of, this really means something to me, and you may have heard it, but this guy hasn't, and I'm performing to this guy at the minute, if that's alright, and it just seems, go and have that exact conversation with that friend that you've not seen for a week.
Yeah.
Down the road or just in the smoking bit, whatever.
This is it.
And there was one in particular I went to, and it was, we nearly had a face off during it, and I was just doing a poem at him, and I can remember a line, and it was so ironic I said it, because it's like compassion is key to our human survival. There's too much media that makes it look tribal, and I was looking at him doing it, but I thought, I'm not being so compassionate in my way of attacking someone with my poem now. So I chilled on it, but it was for the whole night. Incredible artists were coming up and up and up, and nobody listened. It was just a carnage night. Shouldn't have been put on in there, or the host needed to take a stand and say, dudes, everyone out, or just get somewhere else.
Down. Yeah.
But I came home and I remember saying to Chrissy, we're gonna put a night on the farm.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is, I don't know how we're gonna do it, because we didn't have this was just a piece of grass where we sat now. It was all just field.
Look how it's expanded.
I was like, if we have to get a tent or whatever we have to do, I want to put a night on where it's just dedicated to 3 acts, and it's all about that act. So when you're there, the whole energy, the whole emphasis, the whole everything is respecting that artist for their art.
Yeah. And
then the 15-minute break, let's go mad, let's talk about it. And I wanted to sort of connoisseur that night, like an NPR sound, the tiny desk or that thing. So I was so adamant I wanted to put that on, and that was it. Like, we went on a quest. I looked for what they call tiny homes first, or I wanted a Wendy home, but for a size where I thought I could get an audience in, like 50 grand. Like, I think the dream's over.
Building a house for that.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing that anymore. No. We might just have to get some bales out and sit people down. But me and Chrissy one night put on Netflix and looked at Incredible Spaces, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And somebody was doing up a shipping container, and there was somebody doing a boat, and then one guy made a house in a double decker, and I just went, Chrissy, bosh, we're doing it. And it all come from there, but it really was the catalyst of a bad open mic that made this happen, because it's heartbreaking, really.
Well, it bogs everyone. Like, you can see it in the performers as well.
That's
one thing that makes me feel bad, is
it's a lonely drive home now.
Oh yeah, it's like they're struggling to hear themselves, and this is the thing. I've kind of flipped my lid at a couple of open mics before, just because there's only so many times that you can say, can you keep it down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell people to shut up.
Yeah.
Like, end of the day, if they've come in and there's an open mic on, you've got to think for the bar, they still need customers. But there's also the thing of, well, you've chosen to come into this bit, sit there.
Yeah.
And talk loudly.
Crazy.
You could go over to the other side of the bar, or well, especially in Pepper Rocks, like the upstairs. And I've had that before, where I was like, oh, can you keep it down a bit? And like, oh yeah, and then like it slowly builds back up again, and you have another word, and like, oh, right guys, like, can you just keep it down, please?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
A bunch of kids.
And then it comes up again, and you're like, fucking hell, man. shut up.
Yeah.
And then you go over and it's like, look, can you guys sit upstairs, please? And they're like, oh, why? It's like, you're being dead loud. I can't, if I'm having to turn up a blooming 400 watt speaker to fucking drown you out in a venue the size of a fucking shed, there's something wrong. Shut the fuck up. Like, not as aggressive, that I have to obviously keep a bit of a demeanour.
But it gets to that point. It gets to that boiling point where you can't help it, and it's not just for you. But I genuinely think there must be artists out there that have had an experience like that and just thought it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I really feel for them, because you've got to go through it. You've got to go through them experiences and feel it. But I mean, I've had all them drive homes where I'm like, is this what I want to be doing? Do I really want to be going and battling my voice over other people and so on? And it should be known that there's a little dedicated space where these artists who have spent hours and hours beating on their craft, doing the best they can possibly do. We know how hard it is to get on a stage. So to have that just diminished by somebody wanting to have a lousy conversation, it needs drowning out.
No, it's. I tell you what was good. There's a woman who used to always come to Pepper Rocks, Sue. Absolute gem. I love her to bits. And she was there every week without fail, every Tuesday. And she'd sit on the sofa, like she had her own spot. I said to her, I was like, I'm going to get you a plaque above this seat, because like that's literally just where she sat all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get you a plaque, like reserved for Sue. No one's sitting there. And like she was brilliant, because she loves all the open mics and that. And she'd come down every week, and if it was getting a bit noisy, I'd obviously have a word, and you could see her getting worked.
Yeah.
And then like she wouldn't do it, like she'd just like stand up. Can you shut up, please? Like, I can't hear the artist. I'm here for live music. If you want to talk, you can go upstairs. I just say like, I'd love to put it like that if I could. But like, obviously I've got a, it's still custom. I kind of represent the bar, so like, I can't be there. But I was just like, I can get Sue to do it for me. And I was just like, yes, Sue. Like,
oh mate,
that's what I want.
So, sometimes all it takes is a look, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had people at open mics where there's a really gentle artist on pouring his soul out or something, and someone's like, Mikey, and I just turn around like, that's all I need. I've squints my eyes a little bit. I've just looked down. What are you doing, dude? And that's sometimes enough to squash it, but. I love it. I'll cheer when a host just goes, everybody pack it in or watch. I think it's just so important, because as an artist, we need to get to levels. You need these little spaces where you can go and do it, and there's not enough sometimes, is there?
No, this is it. This is where you start out. Like, this is where you really kind of find your own.
Have you had them moments? Have you had them battles on stage or worst gigs or anything like that? Give us your worst
gig.
Yeah, jump in.
I got heckled by Rod Stewart once.
No,
not actually Rod Stewart.
Oh, I wish.
But
I thought we'd stumbled on gold.
I tell you what, she looked like him though. Honest to God, right? Well, where was it? It was like a function
groggy
gig.
Voice.
Oh God. Yeah, it was a gig at Ashby de la Zouche in like Leicestershire way.
Leicestershire. I know it.
We played this gig. Well, it was just me, like a function covers gig thing in the pub. My friend Connor got me the gig. He was like my manager at the time.
Nice.
And so we drove down there. He was there. We like set up all the PA and that. Really busy pub. And it was just one of them pubs like there's live music going on, but just everyone was like, no one gave a fuck. No one cared, and like. I was like, it kind of bogs you down, because not even a clap after any of the songs, you know what I mean? And like, with function gigs like that, it's kind of expected, because it's like, you're playing covers and that, so you're not really that bogged down, because it's not your own music, So
dude, why have you got me to this?
I literally, at the hard time, I was like, mate, we're not playing here again. No. But there's this woman who was like, where was it? I was like set up. So you've got like the front door, the bar's on the side, and this is where I was. So it was like next bar. And she was obviously perched at the bar with like a fella or whoever. She pissed as a fart when I got there. And she was like, oh, you're right, Doc, what are you playing? And I was like, I'm playing some music. And it's like, do you know any reggae? I was like, I could probably do like a Bob Marley. So I don't like Bob Marley. I was like, what do you like? He goes, I don't know, anything rock. I was like, you just asked for reggae. He goes, I don't like reggae. I was like, clearly just...
You were in an acid trip.
Yeah, just like clearly pissed as a fart. And I was like, all right then, dog. And then, so I starts it. And obviously I'm playing and my mate Connor's just sat to the side having a pint.
Yeah.
And playing all these songs, and then like I'm halfway through a song and I made the mistake of telling her my name. So she was there like halfway through the song like, Myles, play some reggae. And I'm like, alright then. So I did a Bob Marley song. She fucked off and went for a fag. I was like, alright then, I'll do you some reggae. And then she's like, outside.
Mate,
and I was like, alright then.
You rude human.
Yeah, so she come back in. And then play the next song. Yeah, and then she's like, Myles, play some good music. Myles, play some good music. And my mate Connor was getting absolutely, like, I could see him just there, like, getting pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
So you just stopped and went, he's been playing fucking good music all night, shut up. I was like, yes, but literally, like, laughed halfway through the song that I'm playing. But honestly, like, I think she was a dinner lady or something because she had like the bib on. She had like this. She had this.
Rocked up
she had this mullet, mate, like proper, like Rod Stewart high top mullet. I was like, Jesus, like she was a character, but that was probably
one of your worst.
One of the worst.
So having a gig like that, does it not take you to that mindset of, is this what I want? Or do you just go, no, it's a bad gig, we write it off, we go again? Well,
I kind of had that about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I kind of just had like a bit of a breakdown, really. Just a lot of things were piling up at the time, and it all kind of hit at once. So I was really unwell, and I was giving up. Like I had loads of function gigs, and I was giving them up to all my mates. Like I just really couldn't do anything. Like kept getting like I had really bad like panic attacks and stuff like that.
Wow.
And it was kind of the whole due to the fact everything sort of happened at once. So like I was kind of bogged down in music, didn't know what I was doing with that. I had a van at the time that had broken down, which was gonna like I had no car, which means I couldn't do gigs and I couldn't afford it. And I was doing music as a profession.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any money to. I was just kind of worrying about stuff, and then obviously like I don't live at home or like rent. I've got all this stuff, and I was like, how am I going to get money? All this stuff. I split up with my girlfriend at the time, and then everything just kind of built up, and it just kind of popped, and I was like, fuck. So I wasn't very well for a few months, and then slowly got better, and it was within that I kind of realised, because I was in my head I was like, I want to be a musician. Like I don't want to. Well, everyone wants to be rich and famous, you know, well known and all this. And I was like, I don't want to have that anymore. I want to just do what's good for me, what makes me feel good. So that's when I was like, well, all these like covers gigs and stuff like that, like you say, the bad gig. It was more funny than bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that where you're driving somewhere, you're playing covers, and like I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known as a pub singer. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want people to know my music.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'll stop doing that. I'm not going to get any like function gigs. So I said to myself, I've already had like an established roster, especially with like COVID and stuff like that. I kind of more so said it now, where I was like, before I was messaging pubs, venues, like, oh, you know, do you need someone to come play? And, you know, doing it for the paycheck, really. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's, you know, I'm doing it because I need the money, not because I enjoy it. Like, and that's kind of what happened. So it's kind of like, it became a money thing as opposed to me actually enjoying the performing side of it. So I said to myself, I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. If any venues that I've obviously already got a relationship with approach me and say, oh, can you play this Friday night or whatever? Yeah, I'll do that, but I don't want to have it where my weekend is just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gigging at all these pubs, doing covers, not being able to play my own music, and you know, sometimes going to like Leeds, Leicester, Sheffield, whatever. Can't be arsed with all that. It's not worth it. It's just a bog.
Today is gonna be the day.
No. I have never played Wonderwall, and also this is a rule: if anyone comes to my open mic, if you play Wonderwall, I will turn off the PA.
Do you actually?
Yeah. No, I honestly, if someone's gone to play it before, I'm like, mate, not here.
I love it. Yeah.
That's literally. I've got two rules.
Yeah.
be respectful when someone's playing, and no Wonderwall.
Back to the etiquette, literally that. So you've got etiquette for the people watching, and then you've got etiquette as an artist.
Yes, yeah.
And that literally
Just put your hand, you're better than that, mate.
Yeah. I know you know 4 chords, not just 3.
This is it. It's like, but yeah, it's no Wonderwall. But yeah, so I kind of said to myself, I'm just going to do the stuff that makes me happy with my own music. So
because when you said about you being at such a low stage and then you got better, was that part of your getting better, was making these conscious decisions for yourself?
Yeah, because it was very much the reason why it all kind of happened. Was it was kind of like having a midlife crisis. But I was only 22 at
Not
the
quite
time.
midlife, but
not midlife.
it was just a magnitude of reasons, you know.
Yeah.
The partner, the being worried about your financial stability, but also mainly because your biggest passion is your music.
Yeah.
It's how you're being foreseen and being noticed as an artist. You weren't happy with that direction.
This is it. Yeah, I just wasn't happy. Normally, it was kind of like the happiest I was at is playing a gig or doing an open mic, or or being surrounded by that friend circle. But it just kind of seemed that over the time, I wasn't happy with it anymore. Like, even in myself, like I could feel it, like, and people would notice it. They'd say, "Well, you're right."
Were you saying in terms of the music side of things, would you get in a very small or minute element of selling out with what you were doing when you were feeling unhappy? Because you were just doing cover gigs that you didn't really want to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like that, definitely.
Yeah, I get it, okay.
Because, I mean, I've said to myself, I was like, I'd love it if my job, full-time job, was a musician. And obviously, with your own music, it's not really a thing that is doable. I mean, because, the main way of making, you make nothing on streams.
Yeah.
No one really, if you've got merch, great, but not everyone's going to buy your merch. So the main source of income really is your gigging.
Yeah.
But obviously the places that you target, like pubs and that, they don't want to hear your music. No one knows your music, and this is the problem. People should hear it, and if they don't like it, don't book me again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But this is when they say, "Oh yeah, we want you to come. You need to do like Wonderwall, Mr. Brightside, all this stuff."
Yeah.
It's like, I want upbeat party anthems and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I can do that, but you know when you're doing it like four times a week,
totally
every week, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of, it did feel like I was selling out almost, and I was like, I had to kind of be real with myself, and I was like, how am I gonna, if I want to do music as a job and be able to live on it, what do I need to do? And luckily for me, with the open mic side of things, I had quite a few of those pre-COVID on the go, and now we've come out of the lockdown, luckily I've had people refer me to these venues that have been,
brilliant, man.
we want to have an open mic, and it's like, you should speak to Myles because he does this one, he's done that one, he's done this.
Yeah.
So luckily it's kind of, I've built a name for myself as being an open mic host, which is still, I prefer it because it's not, I'm not playing all these covers and do whatever for so long. I literally get to turn up, set up the PA, play a few tunes at the start, and then I sit there, random people who I've never met before, or my mates come down or whatever, I get to sit there, watch their performances, find new people that I've never seen or met before.
Yeah.
I'm doing the sound side of things, and that's really helped me because I never did live sound before. It's only through open mics that I've actually got that, but now I'm getting offered like sound engineering jobs.
Wicked,
so
man.
It's kind of like,
you're still in the field that you love and within your passion. And does it sort of give breath and give more passion to your performance side, afterwards? I found that with filmmaking, like, I love that so much now, and I go and do music videos for people, but then because I'm working with artists and creatives and musicians, I can't wait to go and create a song again. And it gives breath back to it. And are you finding that? Yeah,
it definitely, it adds up, like, it's a different element of, like I say, if I was just going out to like these venues every weekend, it was like, there's no inspiration there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not playing your own music. There's not really a lot going off while you're playing to get inspired from. Unless you can write a song about Rod Stewart, I don't know.
The Mardy old bin. You can write. That's the title for you.
That's the title. EP name. but it's so much better from either my songwriting or just performance wise, because I get to see, obviously, people come down with new songs that they've just written, or someone that I've never seen, I've never heard their music before, and it's kind of like you listen to that and you think, oh right, so and obviously I'm listening to the lyrics and like watching how they play it, and it's like, it's interesting to see, try and figure out how they're writing their songs. So oh right, I see what you did there, and then see how their performance as well, because you have some people, like I've got friends who come down who give absolutely energetic performances, and like I was very static on stage, just didn't really move, but now recently, because I'm enjoying it a lot more, I've got more flow, I'm having fun with it on stage, you know what I mean, like I'm quite a bubbly character off the stage, but like as soon as I went on, I was just stood there. So I've kind of like come out my shell more on the stage, because I'm enjoying it more, really.
The energy comes through you, 100%. I've been there, man. I've been on a stage before where I didn't feel my full self was there at that time, and again, the catch-22 is the audience can tell it straight away, can't they?
This is it.
It emanates and it backs to one another. They're not giving you their energy, then you start to dip, and it's a vicious cycle. So you have to go on there every time,
give it all,
to deliver, to completely deliver. And even if their energy isn't what you're feeling right now, and that you don't get the vibe from them, you still just got to play through it, haven't you?
This is it. Funnily enough, I was talking to this drummer, but this gig I did last weekend, I was doing the sound for it, and it was this three-piece band that come down, and they were playing at the venue, and they were all touring musicians, like obviously not at the minute, but they were, and we were just talking about it, and like these guys are like, they're in like a rockabilly band, so like they're all
sick,
like 40. One of them who I was talking to was like 54 or something, and I was talking to him, and I was like, oh, so like, what do you know? He's like, oh, I'm touring musician, like, you know, I'm sponsored by this drum company, he's sponsored by Trace Elliott, he's sponsored by Gretsch, like,
wow.
And, it's like, that our jobs are, we just go out on tours, and he's like, it's mad, like, this is our first gig back in a year. I was like, oh, right, no pressure on me then. And I was like, oh, where was your last gig? And he was like, oh, it was somewhere in like Germany to 100,000 people.
Wow.
I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're doing like, it was the festival season, and then like we all had to stop. And I was like, mad. I was like, you're playing here?
Yeah.
I was like,
and were they electric?
Oh no, they were brilliant.
They were
like,
absolutely.
All of them were phenomenal musicians.
Right, in their own right.
Yeah. Just brilliant. But from talking to him, we got onto like the subject of like, I was like, so how do you know these guys? It's like, oh, we're all from like 4 different bands. We just like chop and change and just jam with each other, like. And I was like, that's mad. He's like, yeah, well, we had this old lad, and then the whole energy on the stage thing. He's like, oh, we had to get rid of him though, because like, you're just gloomy, like, miserable. He said like, oh, we had like a gig in Lincoln, and normally we get there early in the day, have a potter around the place, you know, get some food, check it out, you know what I mean, check the city that you're in.
Yeah.
And he was just dead negative all the time, like, oh, you coming out to have a look around Lincoln or whatever? He's like, oh, I'm sitting in the van. And it's like, what? And then like when he's on stage, like, he's a good player, but like just like literally, he says he looked miserable all the time, and like we're all there having fun, giving it some, having a joke and a laugh with the crowd or whatever, and he's just there horrible, miserable as out, and it's like, we don't want it, because that energy.
I feel sorry for people whose faces are just like that sometimes.
Oh yeah, some people are like that, but
I mean, sometimes it's in their energy, and then sometimes it's in their resting face, and you just think, are you alright? And then they go, yeah, I'm having the best time ever.
They just say it to him like, just perk up.
Tell your face then.
Yeah, well, this is it.
But yeah, it's true. I've been to some gigs, and you're buzzing, you're all excited about what's going off, and then you get on, and you can really feel that they're tired of it, so they're going, oh, this is another city, let's get through it, and that let's get through it just can't come out in your performance ever.
No, and especially like in his point of view, you're a touring band, so it's like, obviously
you know what you signed up for.
This is it. Like, I mean, like he said, it's like, well, at the end of the day we got rid of him, but I mean, there's a load of people that you would jump for your job. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, is this where you're hopefully going to get to? Is this what your plan is of being a touring artist?
No.
No, it doesn't speak your language.
No, I mean, it'd be nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not my end goal, really.
You're not desperate for that.
No, I'm happy with what I'm doing now. Like, I just love doing open mics.
Yeah,
purely because I get enjoyment.
I really love that about you. I can genuinely feel it. And every performance I've seen you at, you're the most authentic people on stage because you love it. You proper, your energy's all there, and it buzzes me. I want to be a part of it. So I find that so humbling inside of you. It's cool.
I just love it. I get my kicks from having. I love it when someone comes off and they're like, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, that was a brilliant set. And they'll be like, oh, mate, I absolutely love that. Cheers for that. And I'm like, he's enjoyed it. Or, like, someone comes to me after the night, like, oh, mate, I had such a good night tonight. And I'm like, you've enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like, I love it when people can come away from it and had an enjoyable experience. Do you know what I mean?
And you've built your community, or people know you have a good vibe around all those people, because it's that sort of be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I was going around London and all over travelling as a poet, because I really wanted to make it at one stage, I was getting noticed, and I spoke about them views before. I thought it was all going to happen.
Yeah.
And I realised when I was going to London shows, a lot of the time nobody really wanted to listen to you. They were waiting for their turn.
Yeah.
And then I was just going to an empty hotel room after it. No, it was all sort of that. I'm not to just dismiss London, it was just an example, but there is that philosophy there. And I remembered a few times I've been, and I was probably not on a level of some of them, but I just felt so empty, and I thought I was on the way there gonna go and do this incredible thing and support the Rizzle Kicks and stuff like that. It was so exciting for me, and that gig supporting one of the Rizzle Kicks was a good gig.
I didn't know you did.
Oh, it's really it was because he was getting into spoken word at the time.
All right.
So I managed to get on the stage with him. It was at this really cool little event called Chill Pill in London. Awesome gig.
I bet that was brilliant.
Mate, when I first started out, I got on a gig with Russell Brand as well, because I've always been looking up at him.
Really?
And did these special little nights called True's Exclusives. All right. And I managed to get on it. I was writing in this really tiny little cafe. Yeah. And I was just writing a poem. I'd hit my midlife crisis very young as well. I do poetry now, Dad. Fully with my pipe. And I was just writing it down in this little cafe, drinking, and a voice turned up and he just went, "What are you doing there, mate?" I was like, oh no.
Oh my God.
Right, keep writing. And Russell just turned around and goes, "Is that a poem?" And he goes, "Go on then, let's have a look." So he literally had a look.
What the hell?
And he went, "Oh, what are you doing later?" I was like, "Coming to your show." He goes, "Well, you can perform that if you want then." And I did. Yeah, that was really early on. And there were some awesome moments, and those ones, like, in particular, they're going to stay with me for forever.
Gotcha.
They were really special and powerful. But also another part of my psyche was, make that happen again and turn this happen again, and reach further.
Yeah.
But actually what I realised was, sometimes I just really love being in Nottingham, having a great gig with everyone, listening to them after, and then coming home in my little temple and getting in pants and chilling. Do you know what I mean?
You McDonald's and you're just there like,
dude,
sorted.
I've had a great night, absolutely perfect, done.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes you get lost in the quest, don't you?
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings aspect, esque vibe. You can clearly tell I've been watching that today.
Yeah.
The power. But I absolutely love that about you, mate. You know what you want, you know who you are as an artist, and you're happy with that. And anything that comes along the way, you're going to take it in with you.
Yeah, this is it.
It's fucking awesome.
I'm not searching for that thing anymore. It's just, I'm content with what I'm doing. I'm happy for now, and if it makes me happy, I'm not going to change that.
Because it's that going to make it. It's, again, a very elusive term, make it.
Yeah.
How do you know when you've made it?
There isn't a definition of it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I could say that I've made it.
I feel you've made it from my definition of it. If you're doing something lovingly, in the best way possible, with the best tribe possible, in a passionate manner, fucking made it for me, man. 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got their own kind of definition of it, haven't they?
Yeah. And it can be the same feeling, but a lot harder to attain if your only version of making it is naming lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's wrong to go for that.
No, you should always strive for the top.
But how lucky if you
don't get
can
hung up on
find
it.
the peace in what you found.
Yeah, this is it.
And I think when, like I've said earlier, you can feel it on the stage, the bigger opportunities start coming. Because of that. It's like a cycle. You go, they were awesome, they meant everything they put on that stage and left nothing other.
Yeah.
We're going to book them here. And they start to come, them gigs.
This is it. It definitely comes across in your performance. Like, it's not worth... a lot of people get bogged down about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Views.
it's just not worth it. Like,
likes.
This is it. It's like, as I said to you, I'm useless with this whole social media side of things, and it's like, I just can't be arsed. Like we were saying earlier, like Facebook isn't Facebook anymore or anything like that.
Died a death, didn't it?
It's dead. You've got to pay for. If you have to pay for someone, it's right. So, for instance, on my page, I've got like 1,000 likes or something like that. Why can't all 1,000 of those people see it if they've liked it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That they've claimed and they've put a mark on, I'm a supporter of his work, I like what he does.
Yeah.
Why aren't they seeing that bit of work that goes out? Because they can't be.
No.
Because 1,000, and then you put something on which you've not put anything on for 2 months, so you put something up, and then one person likes it, which is probably your nan.
Yeah.
You go, right, there's 1,000 people have not seen that bit, because I know it's very easy to click a like button.
Yeah.
And there must be at least 50 of those that would have clicked.
This is it.
So they're not seeing it.
You've got all these, like... Again, I don't really look... I'm like an old man.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Something about an algorithm.
This is it, man. Honestly, I literally am like an old man when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
But like, someone was showing me the other day, and it's like you've got a graph or something, and it's like your engagement, but it's like it shows you if people have seen it but not liked it or shit like that. Like how many people out of your 1,000 that like it. I was looking at it, I was like, well, what am I meant to do with that? They were like, oh, well, from that you can see where you're going wrong. I was like, but what am I meant to do with it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to give them money to pay for a sponsorship. Like, I ain't got the money to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be full up, mate. For my stuff, I was getting depressed with figures, depressed with numbers, overlooking it, overclocking it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a mate who was very nerdy.
Yeah.
Mate, I love having nerdy mates. And he goes, well, mate, if you want, chuck us some money, I'll put it in. And he just said loads of words at me. And I goes, well, yeah, do you know what? Because then I don't actually have to bother promoting it then and overdoing it, because I've placeboed myself by putting a number in that I like the look of.
Yeah.
But I'm actually cool with that, and I've been really open to people when I've spoke about it, because I'm like, listen, it's not harming you. It was a number I wanted so I didn't have to go over the top and get worried about stuff and nobody likes me and all that.
Yeah.
I've created a bit of a placebo effect. I've done that, put it aside. I'm happy. I can...
This is it. Like you said, post and ghost.
Yeah, I can post and ghost and not think about it too much, and then I can look at a figure going, maybe I'm liked, maybe I'm not, I don't know now. No. And it really has. It's either I could have removed the liked thing off of everything, or I've put a fake number up, but either way I don't actually check it anymore. That's the cold hard truth.
That's the best way to do it.
I've eradicated it because of a nerdy mate. Legitimately. And
all it takes is the one
and
nerdy
it's daft.
friend.
I've chucked him a little bit of money. He's made something out of it. I feel better in not having to go on a constant quest of, hey, everybody, like this song. I bet you've done this before. Go in all their threads and spend a whole day of copy and pasting. Will you please like my song?
Oh, God.
Dude, I'm over it, but by just placebo affecting myself. And if you are an artist that wants to get gigs and it become your profession, you're probably going to have to do it organically, unfortunately.
You need to go out there. Like I've said to you, I don't use social media that much to promote stuff, or I'm just not very good at it. But I'm very much in person. I'd rather have a chat with someone I'll play a gig, I'll play my song, someone will say, oh, I like that song, I'll talk to them about it, like, oh, if you liked it, it's here, like, I'm quite guerrilla tactic, I'll be like, oh, you like it, here's your phone, I'll put it in Spotify.
Oh, mate.
I'm a playlist warrior, mate.
My man.
Yeah, honestly.
I like that,
they'll be like, oh,
I didn't like it that much. Give it back.
But the thing is, though, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I've got it on Spotify. And it's like, give me your phone, I'll search it for you.
Sick.
And I'll go like that, and I'm like, add to playlist, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I was like, I popped it in your playlist for you, and I've liked
Put it in downloads.
and I followed me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
And then they might be like, oh, right. But the thing is, they're not going to know until it shuffles in.
Yeah.
And then they'll think, oh, have I got Discovery on?
Yeah.
They won't even
That's
pay
it.
attention. And then they'll look at it and go, oh, that's that. And
I like that song.
Yeah.
Not harm them.
no, this is it.
I pissed off my friend though, because with the podcast, it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I grabbed her phone and I just downloaded every episode because I was like, I want to get my downloads
She
up.
takes a picture and it's like, storage is full.
She just went, rang me up, Mikey, you twat. You've downloaded all your podcasts, haven't you? Because a few hours podcast, Spotify eats your data, man. Not cool.
30 quid for the data.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny. But that's what you got to guerrilla tactics.
Guerrilla tactics. This is it. Like, if I had CDs, I need to get like an EP. Because I used to do it when I was like back in there when I was in younger bands. We did like the whole thing of you'd buy your empty CDs, you'd print off like your mum and dad would go, yeah, you used all the fucking ink in the printer.
Of this. I
But
miss it.
there's a picture, it cropped up on Facebook the other day, I think, as like a memory or something. And it was like the four of us, and it was like a well-oiled machine. Like someone was printing it, one had the guillotine, one was putting it in like the actual in the CD case thing, and then one person was like doing the sticker on the front of the actual CD. And then you just like had this pile of CDs next to us, and that was when we were like,
get the hairdryer.
yeah, 15, 16, and we were doing that, and like we paid. Well, the CDs don't really cost a lot, really, blank ones. It's just the time of doing it.
Yeah.
And we did that like all day. I think we did something like probably 300 CDs or whatever. And we literally, every gig that we did, we were playing quite regularly. Like we played like the Maze, Bodega. We played a Rescue Room show, which was quite mad. But like we'd take all these CDs with us and we just give them out for free. We'd be like,
yeah. Wicked.
I'll take that. I tell you what, listening back to the songs now, it's a good job it was free.
Yeah.
It's a very
you
good
get
job.
people coming after you with pitchforks.
Yeah.
You made me charge you £1 for that.
Oh, mate, honestly. Like, I mean, it goes, I was 16 at the time, so my house was up here. Like, you know.
Yeah.
They're pretty good songs, I'd say. It was just, obviously,
It
being new
needed
to
some
it.
refining. And building on. And
Definitely.
maturity.
Maturity behind it was definitely needed.
Mate.
But that was the best thing to do. Just literally make CDs and chuck them at people.
You really love your music, don't you?
Yeah.
It's full. Are there much other things in your life, escapisms, passions, enjoyments, that, because when it become for me music,
Yeah.
it became a bit of a job, like a full-on job.
Yeah.
And I got a bit resentful towards it. So when I started spinning plates again and doing different things, it opened up that thirst again. So do you have that in your life? I see you with your big les on and stuff. So
mate.
I know you got a bit of crazy in you, mate.
Got a bit of crazy. I've started doing. I've always had a passion for like guitars, and I do like. Well, I always did you can pay someone to set up your guitar, so it's like taking your car for an MOT.
Yeah.
Just the maintenance of it, and I never knew that was a thing until a few years ago when we were going to do a recording session with my drummer's uncle. He was like, "Oh, you need to go get your guitar set up so it's all playing nice and all."
Sick.
And I was like, "All right then, cool." So I was like, "I'll take it to the music shop or whatever." And I was like, "Can I have this set up?" And like, "Yeah, that's 60 quid." And I was like, 60 quid. Like, I work part time in a fucking clothes shop. Like, 60 quid's
That's
a
a
lot.
day.
Yeah.
That's a full day.
Oh, not at minimum wage, mate. It was about free.
Yeah. Okay.
But so after that, I was like, fucking hell. And then we went into the session, and then he was like, played the thing. He goes, "I told you to get your guitar set up." I was like, "I did." He goes, "That's not set up." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I can hear it's out of tune." I was like, "There's no way you can hear that." He goes, "Plug it into a tuner then," and it wasn't. They hadn't done it properly. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like,
I hope you got your 60 back.
no, I took it there and I was like, they said this is it's not right. He goes, no, it is right. I was like, yeah, but it's showing up on the tuning pedal that it's not internet. No, it is on this one. I was like, what? Like, okay then. It was to be fair, it was a minor thing. They could have just sorted it. If it was me doing it, I would have just sorted it. But from that, I just kind of got me out. I was like, I'm not paying someone to do this. So I just YouTube tutorials on
the
everything,
school
mate.
of YouTube.
Honestly, and I just literally just went on YouTube for hours looking into the whole setup side of things, and then obviously like the YouTube spiral. I just got it. Oh, this is how you make one. Oh, right, cool. Oh, yeah, this guy's made a guitar out of a shovel. Oh, right. All the weird stuff. And I was like, that's really interesting. I was like, I'd love to do something like that.
And going on that YouTube search and quest, was it worth 60 quid, what he was doing?
I mean, definitely.
Okay, so it is time consuming.
It is time consuming. It's mainly learning the things on what to do, and I've always done it on my own guitars because I enjoyed it. And then during lockdown, I've got a friend Ed who recently got into like the electrical side, so soldering and stuff like that.
Awesome.
I'm not very smart.
I love how quick you said that. You were trying to make a word for it and went smart.
So like all these like diagrams and stuff for like, because like with electrical components there's like schematics and shit like that, and I had a look into it and I was like,
I mean, that's a big word.
I've practiced that one on the way here.
It's too smart for me, son.
Oh gosh. But yeah, like schematics and stuff, and I look at it, I'm just I have no idea where to start. But he recently started getting into that because he was like, oh, I want to upgrade my guitar, like the sound of it, and he knew that I did the setup, so he'd give me his guitar to set up for him, and I'd give him mine to do some electrical bits too.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I was like, we could make like a business out of this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We could like, offer it as a service because people do it. And the difference between us is we both got jobs. It's like we're not doing it for the money. We do it because we enjoy it. So I was originally doing it a bit during the lockdown because there was nothing to do. Because I became a full-time musician at the start of lockdown. Foolishly. That would be a good idea. So yeah,
this is a great venture.
Yeah. And
makes so much sense.
Yeah, so it didn't work. So I was doing like jobs and bits and bobs, and I was like, oh well. I had a friend, Tom Grant actually.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, can you sort my guitar out for me?
Sick.
I was like, cool. So I did that, and then through that, it kind of got passed around, like word of mouth through all my friends on like the music scene. So I had a few people come up to me like, oh, I've got this guitar and like all this and this, and I started doing that, and then like it spread around, and then I had quite a few people coming to me for the setup side of things, which was good. And again, no one knew about it like I was, and these are like people that have been playing for years.
Wow.
And I was like, what, you don't know about this? And
that's
like,
cool.
obviously I didn't know, but I was young at the time, so I kind of didn't expect it. But I thought from people playing for so long that they were like, no. And like, I mean, some of the guitars you get, you know, if someone's not looked after it in the 6 years that they've been playing.
Yeah, grimy.
Mate. Oh, grimy as hell, disgusting.
You
dirty
dirty
do you not wash your hands?
Filthy sods.
Filthy sods.
Yeah. I can only but imagine what you've substances and
honestly
grime you've had to deal with. Doesn't sound ideal, mate.
No, it's grim. Absolutely grim. But
well, because I want to go in on all this, brother. We're getting to the 2-hour mark.
oh wait,
Yeah, and on the podcast platform that I released to, the audio,
yes,
if it goes like 2 hours 7 minutes or something, I can't put it on apparently.
Oh,
so then I have to start chopping it up. I just thought I'd let you on to that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Because I know we could go everywhere with it. Because with this lockdown, you've done loads of stuff. You've got, haven't you?
Loads of what is it? Strings under me bow or whatever it is. What's the saying?
Yeah.
Another string to me bow.
Knots under my belt.
Yeah.
What was yours?
An arrow to the quiver.
Loads of that.
I don't know.
But would you do a round 2 with me sometime?
Yeah, definitely.
If you ever want to do a Myles Knight podcast as well, brother,
Yeah.
I can see it happening.
Well,
I think you're a pretty cool guy.
I've not even thought about doing a podcast.
Would you consider it? Would you think about it?
Yeah.
I want to be a guest on it, mate. I want to come
What would
on.
I do?
Dude, 100%.
You have to give me some tips.
Should we name it now?
the Myles Knight podcast? Oh,
Yeah. Oh man, did you
Myles
say you
Knight
was in
podcast.
creativity?
that's as creative I get.
My name Myles Knight. That's my name. Podcast.
Okay.
I love it. You know some things.
I could have it like late at night and it'd be like
Yeah.
Milo's Nights. Ooh,
Milo's Nights.
Milo's Nights.
Oh, bro, that's quite good.
Could work,
That's
and then-
that Milo's Nights.
Milo's Nights.
Oh man, yeah, and you could do it in your pajamas.
Oh mate, yeah, definitely. I've got awesome pajamas.
Sleepover. What's your
bro.
pajamas?
I've got some that have got like stars and moons on them.
Oh
Planets.
man,
Yeah.
mate. Because with this podcast, I want to be Joe Rogan-esque. He goes on for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have to edit it as well.
No, yeah, this is it. It's
He
all
just passes it
out.
on to young Jamie,
Yeah.
some other guy. 100 mil goes off, does his thing.
Yeah.
Think of this poor fella.
Oh mate.
But round 2.
Definitely.
And honestly, man, if you would ever want to set up your podcast, I would love to help you with
I
that.
might have to give
Don't
it
get
a
me
go,
on the don't get me on the audio though.
No. You think I'd be any better? I did the live sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Recording
you,
side.
You don't know, but the film side of things.
Yeah.
Now I can help
Hey,
you.
I've got a camera.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
What do you have? What's your go-to?
I've got. It's the only one I've got.
DCLR.
Yes, a Canon 600D.
I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't film more than 28, 29 seconds. 28 minutes, 29 seconds.
Really?
It's a ridiculous thing.
I'll have a 20-minute podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll have a short
It's
one.
stupid. My DCLRs didn't. One of them I had to try and hack. These do now, but it's only so stupid companies can charge you stupid amounts of money.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't. These are actually classified as I can't remember what you call it, but it's not a DCLR. It's like a filmmaker camera.
Oh right, yeah.
And all
That's
the
when you pay the big
DCLR,
bucks
yeah,
after that,
literally,
yeah.
it's a restriction that we've put in the EU.
Yeah.
Not even in the EU, man. Give me my time back. Yeah.
Innit? Give me the hack.
Yeah, that's it. It was so these are GH5 and a GH5S. But my GX8, I had to do an hour's YouTube tutorial, but there was a guy hacking it and it was really good, and one of them it did, but another one it was multi-programmed and I couldn't do the hack.
No.
So yeah, it's a ball
Sounds
ache.
far too technical.
But if
for
you
me,
ever
mate.
want to do a long ass podcast, get these babies
I'll get you
involved.
on it. I'll get you on it.
Mate, what can people expect from you? What have you got coming up? What's happening in Myles Knight's world?
So, hopefully a few gigs. I've been sat on an EP for the best part of a year, so I'm going to release that.
Hurry up, son.
I'm going to release that.
Yeah, it's happening.
I'm going to release that.
You've told yourself on a podcast now you're doing it, so it's
there will
real.
be. I've got a single from that EP. The artwork is being designed as we speak, so that will be
Awesome.
coming out soon. As soon as I get the artwork, I'm dropping it.
Right, okay.
And then the EP will follow after that. And then just enjoy myself.
Collaborations?
I'd love to, but
We'll have a song out together,
I
won't
think
we,
should,
mate?
I think we should.
Oh dear, I felt bad. We had something there, didn't we?
We did.
Something Don't say it like that, you puppy dog eyes.
Don't worry, I've still got the Logic file. I could just release it.
Oh, we could do it then. Should we do it?
We'll do it.
I will need to change my lyrics.
Yeah, that's
Slight,
fine.
but we've got the whole
We've got
file.
everything. We've got everything.
Yeah, because I did that. The lyrics I've done with Gemma Danielle.
Danielle.
Do you know? She's awesome, really cool. She works with a band called Project Zeus. They're like garage. She's a phenomenal singer, really cool artist. But yeah, we did a track together recently.
All right.
And we put it out. It went on that introducing. You know how it goes. You know how to do it. But we're doing a film for it on Saturday with Matt Turner.
Oh right.
At Moogie in Notts.
Moogie.
It's it was called Cut 42. It's Herbie Rowley's studio with
Oh, right,
Joe
okay.
Green as well.
Oh,
And there might
smashing.
be and Rob Liddell.
Hey, old Robbo.
The
Old
old
Rob.
team together. So
Yeah, we've got the dream team on the go.
yeah, we've
there.
got that coming up. Yeah, that is a dream
be
team,
great.
isn't it?
That is, well, Rob and Matt together.
Big love to you guys. You're very nice people.
You're alright.
You know who you are. I do little snippets of this podcast, and that's the bit we'll take for them. Their egos are gonna be so enlightened.
Yeah.
Herbie, I didn't think your head could get any bigger. Right, so people know where to get you on all social platforms. You say you're a bit naff with it, but where can people find you if they want to give you a heckle?
So it's Myles Knight, MY, Knight with a K, UK. So Myles Knight UK on pretty much all platforms. But if you see me, come and talk to me.
Beauty, mate. What a lovely lad. Guys, you've been a part of the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus Sessions podcast. What do we say at the end of each podcast? Be nice to one another, you beautiful buggers. You've just got to be nice. That's all you got to do. Be bloody nice. See you later. Thanks for being here, man.